So when I thought of this idea, without understanding a lot of this, I really wanted to create leather wallet metaphor. Something that is in back of my pocket. I just wanted to put it on cell phone. And this was in 1994. So I tried a patent, got a patent, and started learning on my own. Leather wallet metaphor implied to me that I need empty leather jacket on cell phone. Then I need ability to issue over the air credit card, debit card, tokens, coupons, ticketing, that I can stuff it into my wallet. I want to decide what I want to use, so don't tell me how should I pay. Sometimes I use this, sometimes I use that. There is no logic to it. I may have a business card, I may have a personal expense. I need that flexibility, and don't tell me how I should pay. Give me all the flexibility that I have as a consumer, and then I will decide. And there's not going to be any sensible logic to what I decide, because when it comes to money, people are not very sensible. Sometimes it's very emotional. Then, besides over-the-air issuance, I want ability to aggregate. I want ability to integrate. I also want high level of security, great deal of flexibility. And I want to make sure that when I use Reserve Bank, State Bank of India card, my security is with State Bank. Next time I use ICICI card, my security with ICICI card. I want that tunnel that is locked up between me and my bank. And I may have multiple banks. So don't give me one security, because I don't believe in one. I want that flexibility to move. But also give me Jet Airways card. Also give me card from Hilton or Trident or Taj Hotel. I want railway facility. I want all of that ecosystem on my wallet so I can play with it. But for that, you need better phones. You need good network. You need reliable network. All of that is happening. And now is the right time to focus on these big ideas and vision. But at the end of the day, physical transactions drive volume. You pay money when you buy something at a grocery store, department store. Over-the-air transactions are very few, increasing. But virtual transaction is very different from physical transaction. And physical transaction require what we call today NFC, near field communication. So you take your phone, you tap it, and you want to tap because merchant wants to see your face. It can't be on Bluetooth where you are in a corner and paying for something you bought. So merchant wants you right in front of you when you tap. So that has to be within 5 centimeters. NFC infrastructure is very important piece of this puzzle to tie physical infrastructure. We are indeed at a tipping point in this whole ecosystem. If we are to provide financial services to people at the bottom of the pyramid, mobile payment is critical, mobile commerce is the way forward, and mobile transaction is the ultimate goal. I also want my health transactions, because that's also secure information. I don't want people to know results of my blood test, the medication I take. There are lots of secure transactions like financial transactions that we will have to integrate. So it's not about doing same thing we do today on mobile phones. It's about doing things we don't do today on mobile phones. When today's system, I find that the credit card, debit card, banking fellows are doing their own thing. They have their own acquisition network. Their world is very different. Coupon guys are doing their own thing. Billions of coupons get printed. People take scissors, cut it on a piece of paper, put it in their wallet, forget about submitting a coupon. All coupons get collected, sort of counted by hand. You got to integrate coupon into the payment. Loyalty programs, separate acquisition. All of these acquisition systems will have to be integrated into mobile system. I'll give you a very simple example from personal experiences. At one time, I had 2 million miles on British Airways. I used to travel quite a bit to London because of World Health. 2 million miles amount to 20 round-trip ticket from Chicago to Delhi on first class, which is about, in those days, $200,000. I have not paid tax on it. British Airways has not accounted in their balance sheet. But that's cash that I own. But I can't trade it. I can't borrow against it. But it's an asset. When you come to mobile play, you will begin to trade all this. You will begin to integrate all of it. And the whole idea of cash will change. The concept of money will change. The way it changed when plastic cards came in. When plastic cards came in, all of a sudden you had money you didn't have. Because everybody went and borrowed $6,000 in America. 250 million people borrowing $6,000 is a lot of money. Nobody thought that that amount of money existed. So when I begin to spend in bits and bytes, one, I will spend in a very different way than I spend today. Two, I have a lot more asset stuck in terms of variety of other instruments. I'll also be able to take advantage of profiling, where when I go to buy a tie, I'll get a coupon on shirt and not on hamburger. All of these things require new thinking. I've been talking about this and doing a lot of missionary work all over the world on this on and off. Finally in US, people are beginning to get this. Took long time. So in US, AT&T, Verizon and T-Mobile, together they control more than 80% of the telephones, have come together and set up a company called ISIS to create common platform for the entire country for credit card, debit card, banking, coupon, ticketing, loyalty programs, everything, where all operators would play into that, and they will create de facto standards. This is the vision. Federal Reserve in the US has put together a group. For the last 2 years, you can go online and find a report that they have published recently. And I think there is a lot to learn. Not that everything they do makes sense to us tomorrow morning. But I think the idea behind that is to create rich ecosystem. So beside these three players, namely banks, operators, and merchants retail, you also have mobile equipment manufacturers, people who produce hardware, and also software people who provide software. And I'm told that you have several of those here today. So they are also part of the ecosystem. It is this ecosystem that will give you the flexibility to integrate money, coupons, ticketing, loyalty programs, and all of that. Without this ecosystem, you will not really take full advantage of the technology available. So it's not about financial transactions only, but it's a great way to start. It is about health, it is about government, it is about transportation, leisure industry, and the vision has to really take into consideration all of this going forward. So you really need a platform. You need a platform which is very complex, but very simple for user. So you need user interface which is trivial, because user doesn't understand all this complexity. You need flexibility for user, and you have to make sure that there is a business model for all of these services as you begin to unfold. This has never been done before. Business is huge because we have 5 billion mobile phones in the world. And I can guarantee to you, in next 10 years, at least 70% of these mobile phones will have some kind of financial services on it. So if you take 3.5 billion phones with mobile transaction capability, and if you can generate $10, $15, $20 revenue per year, you are talking about a huge business. This is a new business about which we don't know enough. So when you ask somebody to do a marketing study, they can't do it. It doesn't exist. And that is the innovation we need. We need innovation in this space. We need to take advantage of the infrastructure that's already paid for. Spectrum licenses have been paid, hardware is available, phones are improving every day, and pretty soon everybody would have smartphones. And that day is not too far. But you have to make sure that all 600 different types of phones can have this facility. You have to make sure that all of the operating systems, from Symbian to Microsoft to Android to everything else, Java, everybody has to have the flexibility. And that's why the complexity of design and platform becomes very critical. I'm delighted that we have started on this journey. I once again want to compliment Mr. Balachandran and Mr. Hota for taking on this task. It is indeed exciting, romantic task. The road is going to be long, difficult, complex. It will be full of controversies because it's not something standard that you are doing. You are exploring new frontiers. Pioneers always have arrows in the back. So you will be hunted by some, I'm sure, because you are going to be doing new things, trying new ideas. Maybe some will succeed, maybe some will fail. It's okay. But you will give us new direction in the country. You will really chart out new path. And only through your initiative, I am convinced that we will provide inclusive growth. Everything else is conversation. You cannot provide inclusive growth if you can't go to them and provide cash in hand at the right time. We have been talking about it in the banks. Mrs. Gandhi early took a very bold initiative by nationalizing banks at one time. Idea was to really reach out to poor people. We could deliver our dream then in the way we wanted to. This is another chance in your hand to really drive the destiny of this country. I wish you a lot of good luck. And once again, thank you for this opportunity.